everyone, and welcome back to Anne's Family Recipe. So even though Thanksgiving and Christmas are on everyone's minds right now, you still have to make dinner all the other nights of the weeks coming up too. So I thought I would share this quick and easy recipe with you that I made a few weeks ago that was really tasty. It's a creamy chicken and sausage fettuccine Alfredo with a Cajun kick. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Let's get cooking. I started by dicing up 2 chicken breasts and 3 mild Italian sausage links. I was already cooking chicken for another recipe in my nonstick skillet. That's why it's a little bit seasoned already. But to this, I added a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of olive oil, and then my 2 meats. And this recipe is loosely based on the Pioneer Woman's Cajun chicken Alfredo, but I thought the sausage would add great flavor. And I was definitely right about that. I'm really glad that I used both meats combined. So to the meats, I added a little sprinkling of Cajun seasoning. This is the Tony Chachere's brand. I think I'm saying that correctly. The Cajun seasoning is totally to taste throughout this recipe. I do a little bit on each of the layers that I add into the skillet, but we don't like a lot of heat in our family, so I didn't go too overboard, but you could definitely add more than I'm doing here. Next up, I'm prepping some veggies to go into this dish. So I had a yellow and red bell pepper that I seeded. I took the little white ribs out and then sliced that thinly. And then I also prepped a small white onion and 3 cloves of garlic. I chopped those up finely. I browned my chicken and sausage until it was cooked through, and then I removed that to a separate plate and added my vegetables into the same skillet. Also, at the same time, I was bringing a large pot of salted water to a boil for my fettuccine. While the veggies sauteed, I boiled 1 pound of fettuccine just according to the package directions until al dente. While the pasta boiled, I seasoned my vegetables with more of the Cajun seasoning, and I also added my garlic at the very last minute. I didn't add that at the beginning because you don't want it to burn. So for the final 30 seconds to a minute, you can saute that in with the rest of your vegetables. And then I removed those to a separate bowl as well so I could make the sauce in the same nonstick skillet. I prepped my chicken broth using this chicken base that I like to get at Sam's Club. It's a really concentrated chicken broth flavor, and then you stir it into some boiling water. So this was 2 cups of chicken broth, and you can see it didn't all dissolve in the water, but that's okay, it will as it continues to heat up. And I used my wooden spoon to help me scrape any little bits off the bottom of my pan into the broth. Next, I added in 1 cup of heavy cream, and then stirred that together to combine and brought this to a simmer. I added about half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese and stirred that in. Next, I added in 1 can of diced tomatoes that I had drained a little bit and allowed those to simmer in the sauce. This is another time when you could add an additional sprinkling of your Cajun seasoning just so that every layer has some of that spice. I added my cooked fettuccine directly into the sauce and stirred it together so that the noodles would start to soak up some of this tasty liquid. Then I added the meats and the vegetables back in and stirred it all together. You can taste your sauce and add more Cajun seasoning or even just salt here if you feel like it needs it. And as a garnish, I used a little more grated Parmesan cheese and some dried parsley. Of course, you could use fresh if you have them, but these were both items in my pantry that just spruced up the top of this a little bit, added some extra flavor, and made the dish look complete. Everyone in my family liked this, and I especially enjoyed the addition of the sausage for some added flavor. Enjoy! Thank you so much for joining me here today in my kitchen, and I will see you again soon with another recipe.